What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter here with $1,000 half-dollar hunt. And these are actually the boxes that I recently did a little short on about the highs and the lows of getting boxes from the bank. And just to reiterate, that moment where you open them up and that coin roll hunter you is hoping there is just a field of silver is kind of a cool moment. But it's usually fleeting because 95% of the time, or at least in my experience, there are no enders on either side of these rolls. So with that said, I know there's some heavy rolls in here because I weighed them, but we're going to get into this and I'll bring you in at our first find. So we are 7 rolls in, and it looks like I had a little camera mishap because on roll 2, we did find a pretty decent looking 2005D. A little bit of light ring of death on it, but we did find that in roll 2. And I'm here on roll 7, and this coin actually came up that way, and I was about to toss it. And I quick checked it, and sure enough, I saw that S. This is a 2003 S clad proof, so you can hear it. It's not silver. The edge is really dirty, so it's a little hard to tell. But this has got to be by far the worst clad proof I've ever found. But I'm going to hang on to it because even ugly things need a little love. Let's get back to the hunt. So we're on roll number 10, and if you watched my little short, this was the roll that weighed heavy. And I just got the paper pulled back, and you can see I got a really, really silvery rim in there. I got a feeling this is going to be a 90%er. Based on the weight and just based on the color. Don't think I've got anything else in there. Ooh, it's been a while since we found one of these. Oh, this is awesome. I love Benjis. 1961. Looks like a Denver. It's a pretty good looking Benji. 90%er, so we got a proof. We got a Benji and we got an NIFC. All we need now is like a DDO or a DDR, and we filled the board. Maybe even a sticker or a necklace or a coin. We'll call it a miscellaneous. All right, let's get back to these rolls. Same roll as that Benji, thought I'd bring you in. We got towards the tail end of it, and we did have another 2005P. So that makes 2 of them on the box. So this looks like roll 12, and I got a really fat rim in here. That is usually indicative of a proof. Or just a really nice 1990D. And I just turned off the camera and realized what fell out of the roll was, in fact, an NIFC, a 2003P. So we'll put that up on the board as a find. So we are at the halfway point. I did find one other NIFC that I didn't bring you guys in on. It was a, nope, that ain't it. It was this 2002D, actually really nice looking 2002D NIFC. Of course, the star of the show still is this 1961 Benji. I'm hoping we can get at least one more silver in the back half of this box, so let's get to it. So we just broke into roll 41, and I had to stop. It's been really, really quiet up until now. No NIFCs. I've been checking for errors and varieties. But we did come across something gold-plated, or at least painted. It looks like it might be gold-plated because it looks like a really good job. Usually when they're like spray painted by a kid, you can tell. But this looks like a really nice 1972 Philadelphia gold-plated half-dollar. This would fill the miscellaneous spot. So if we were playing the fill the board game, we just did it. So this is actually a really cool find. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what something like this is worth, if that's real gold or just gold leafing or what. I have a handful of these, but this is probably the nicest one I've ever found. This is pretty cool. All right, we'll put it up there on the board and keep on hunting. Like I said, this is my last 10 rolls. Hopefully we find something good, and then we'll break into the second box. So here we are with box number 2. I weighed 10 of the rolls, and there was nothing interesting in there. I haven't weighed the rest, so I have no idea what we're going to find as we go. But I'm going to jump into these, and like the last box, I'll bring you in as soon as we find something. So bringing you in on roll number 5. It's not a great find, but it is a 2007 D NIFC. First find of the box. I probably won't bring you in if we just find a bunch of NIFCs. If that happens, I will just bring you in at the end of the box. But if we happen to find some other cool stuff like proofs or errors or more silver, I will definitely be sure to bring you guys in. So that second box was pretty disappointing. So I brought you guys in for my 2 NIFCs. We didn't find a whole lot else after that. So I pulled a bunch of potential errors and varieties aside, and I have 2 that I want to share with everybody to get your opinion. So first up is this 1982 Philadelphia. I'm going to go ahead and just get this under the scope now. I believe that is a no FG. You can make out a little bit of where the G should be, but really all you have is just the points of where the F and the G are supposed to be. So there's the tip of the F and the tip of the G, but it's gone. So I would say that this is a no FG. This is what it looks like on PCGS. I would love your opinion down in the comments below, but I'm going to call this a no FG. It's not a great looking coin, but it's a find. The second one is what I believe a pretty good example. I think this is the FS 101 of the 1971 D. Now you'll notice there's no doubling really on the trust to be found. But when we get over here to the N, you can actually see we have 2 eyes. We got an eye sitting right here and an eye sitting right here. And we have an eye here and an eye here, and we've got some doubling on the N. We've got some doubling down here on the N, and it's not the light. I know some of you may say it's the light, but I've looked at this a couple of different ways. And it looks like we've got some elongation of some of these other letters here. So even this I is a little wide and fat. And this B here as well, we've got a little bit, I don't know if this is technically doubling, but it's definitely wide and fat. You can see how far the B comes out here. So I believe this is probably I think it's the FS 101 version of the 1971 D. And this is a coin that's in fantastic condition. Let me come back over here to just zoom you guys in. Sorry, my finger got in the way there. So that 82 is pretty rough. But this 71 looks really, really good. So I'm kind of happy with this one. Let me know what you guys think. Was this 71 a decent DDO? What do you guys, how would you rate it? I think it's definitely a DDO, but again, I am not the expert, so I would love your opinion. So let me get all this stuff together. We'll do a real quick recap and call it a day. Okay, well, here it all is. And I think for a 2-box hunt, we did pretty good. We got a great variety of finds. We'll start up here at the top. This is the nicest gold-plated or gold-leafed $50 I have ever found coin roll hunting. This is a spectacular coin. I have no idea what the value is. I mean, I've seen these at the coin shop for $5 to $10, but I don't really know what this would go for on the private market. Obviously, the star of the show is this 1961 Ben Franklin. We do have a bunch of machine doubling on the back on the United States of America and the half and half dollar. It doesn't add any extra value, but it's got a lot of machine doubling. We do have the ugliest 2003 S proof clad I've ever found. I can see how this was looked over, and I think it even has marks on it. Somebody drew lines through it thinking it was nothing. So this coin was passed over as just a regular clad coin, and it is an S proof. We got a smattering, I'm not going to go through all the years, but a smattering of regular NIFCs from 2002 to 2007. I get the question all the time, what are these worth? The answer is not really much unless you sell an entire collection from 2002 all the way to 2020. I don't know if the 2021s are hitting boxes lately, but those will go for a premium. So if you can find 20s and 21s, there's some value in just because they're hard to find. And then lastly, we have the we have the no FG and we have the DDO, which are varieties, which I think is pretty cool. So we kind of hit a little bit of everything in these 2 boxes. So I call that a success. So To close us out, as I always do, if you haven't already and you've made it this far in the video, I really, really appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end, because most people only make it through about the first 40% of any video, regardless of the length. So thank you so much for making it this far. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell and select all so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Leave me a comment down below because I love interacting with all of my subs. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me some feedback. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.